the truth about Mr. Shaw and how I felt like nothing more than an unwanted little beep.
I think this guy, who's alive, is a big cutting off. And you'll understand why. For those who are easily shocked, you might not want to listen to this one. I hope you do, because this is the one I need to share more than anything else. Everything else is just my life and my stories. But this was the start of the biggest nasty I've ever had in my life. And what happened to me, and how it made me feel like I was nothing, like I was nobody, that nobody gave a shit about me. Okay? And we're doing it to others. So remember, when you listen to this story, don't get angry at the people or what happened. Just think about if you've done it to someone else or if they've done it to you. Let's all think about this one feeling, a feeling that I've had. If I can give you a feeling into what I'm feeling, maybe that might be the start of that happiness we can spread. And we talk about that later as well. The happiness. There is happiness, but there's too much nasty. It's taking over. That's the disease that we're not stopping. And we need that cure. I've never really believed in miracles, but we need something, don't we? Let's be honest. Because at the minute, even at my age now, and what I've experienced, it's very tempting not to go for the red pill. The one that makes you go away. The one that you roll the dice and you don't have to be here and look at all the wars and the nastiness within the world. It's not nice. I see these kids and stuff on the telly and I feel their pain. I feel it when somebody's hurting. I feel it. I don't want it. I don't want it. You can have it. But I can't stop it. So we get on with the story. I'm rambling again. I'm rambling. But please, if you love me, I'll love you. If you treat me bad, I won't want to know you. I don't want to like you. I don't care what colour or your religion or like that. If you need my help and I can give you help, I'm going to give you help. I will love you if you love me. If you respect me, I respect you. I will help you. I'll help you anyway if you do the same for me. All of you out there, if we could just think of that moment where we could just help each other. But we don't. We have to put it with the nasty. And it seems like the nasty is winning. If you put it from a point of heaven and hell, yeah? Hell is winning, guys. It is. Look at what's in front of you. Look at what's on your telly. Look at these people telling us what we can and can't do. And it's even in our own country. Look at these people that had to sit on back of buses just because of the colour of their skin. And because there was a little boy. And there was a big reason to why the bullying started worse. So, story. Let's get to this one. I need to get this one out of the way. But you need to listen to this one. I've just started the new class, and this guy's called Mr. fucking Shaw. Mr. Shaw. He was a nasty, nasty bully. And the worst thing about it is, I know he worked there 10 years after me. So my gut feeling is, he hurt other kids. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And if I can't get anything else, and I don't inspire anyone, I need to tell you what this man did to me. And what he did, and how he did it, and what he said, and what I've seen him do to other children. And if anybody knows who I am, and guess who I am, and he did that to you, and you remember what he did in that hallway to that little boy that time, you need to speak out. You need to say, fair enough, he might not have sexually abused us, but he did beat us. And cruel, nasty man. If there's ever going to be a demon or a ghost that's in that school, it's him. Yeah? It's going to be that guy. No Ghost Adventures, when they're on about the demons and they're dragging all the kids back and they won't let them go. They hear the little voices and that. Yeah? He's that guy. He's that big nasty that won't let those poor children go because he fucking bullied them in school and he got away with it. And if he is alive, I want to tell him, you didn't get away with it. Right, I'm in the class, I'm with this lad, and we're 3 back from the wall. So if you imagine your tables there, plus your chairs, 1, 2, 3. So we're forward, more or less in the middle, right next to his desk as well. He's right next to me. Me and this lad were mucking about. Just a friend, yeah? And there's the covers of what they used to get on the books to try and just like stop them from getting ruined and things. And you can blow it up. And we've all done it. I've seen it. I've heard it pop God knows how many times. But you just get told off or put in the corner. You know what I mean? You never got smacked or hit or anything. Or you might have got shouted at a little bit, but that was about it. That's all the other teachers ever did. Yeah, I've never seen a kid get hit or like that. But before, I seen him hitting people. I did. And when you got that good feeling I said I had before my brother died, I kept having that. I had the same gut feeling. Yeah, it was that day. But yeah, we're sitting down, we're mucking about, and I popped the book with a pencil. You know the B2 pencils, black and yellow, and I remember that. And we're sitting at this table, and I popped it, and he shot up and screamed at us so loud. That feeling only ever got worse, guys. And I'm sorry if you have to hear this. But what that man did, he grabbed me, he pulled me over the table, and he bent me over, and he hit me 3 times as hard as you can imagine. And bang, bang, bang. Oh yeah. I'd just come out of care. We went into care because, like I said, I had too many bruises. Yeah, so we went into care. Mrs. White saved us. Mrs. White. Good teacher. Thank you, Mrs. White. You did save us for a little bit, but not for long, darling. I'm sorry to say that. But yeah, we all came out of care. All 5 of us. Was it? Yeah. We're in Greencroft. I remember that now. That's when he did it. But this is what I'm trying to tell you people, how it happened and what happened and how people just ignored me. You should have saved me. And they didn't. And what he did, he threw me back into the chair after he hit me. I was crying, I was sobbing. I've seen it sobbing all over the place. It breaks my heart every time I see it because I know the feeling. I've seen it, I've felt it. And I told him, I got cocky, because I thought I was safe. When they told me I left that children's home, one of the ladies that looked after us, she had round glasses on and whatnot, and she had ginger hair. Lovely lady, really looked after us, yeah? Somebody we never knew, somebody that cared enough to look after us. And I thank all these people, and I've met a lot, but I've met a lot of the nasty ones as well. But so let's get back to it, yeah? So I told him, says I'm telling my bloody social worker of you. He screamed at me so loud, I got that feeling like you won't believe. No one has said that guy told me to F off in the dream. Same feeling. And he come up to me and he grabbed me. Yeah. He says, I can do what I want. Yeah. Nobody cares about you. Yeah. Your parents don't care about you. I can do what I want. Really loud. And he said similar to other kids. When he's bending them over and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He did it all the time. And I've seen him do it all the time, all the way through that school. I left that school and I didn't have to see that. But I'm gutted with myself and I'm guilty because he didn't get sorted. So that means he went on to hurt other kids. So the school's just as responsible and the system's just as responsible. So if anybody does just hear it and you understand what happened in that school and you've got your story, please tell it. Please tell that story. But yeah, Mr. Shaw, and he got the table and he put his hands against that table. Now this is on my chest, I'm only a small lad, yeah, and he rammed it up against the wall like you wouldn't believe, and he trapped me in between. And if anybody remembers that, and I hope you don't, to be fair, I hope they are those kids, yeah, because that day he did that, he spread it nasty to every single kid in that class, every single fucking kid, yeah, with what he just did. He was angry. And I've got his eyes. He gave me something that day I don't want. He gave me that nastiness in my stomach because someone who you're supposed to trust, that should be looking after you, got really angry. It's like, that's out of order. I appreciate back in the day, even though I know it's 100% wrong, I don't like it, used to cane us, smack us, fucking, what else did you use? All sorts, straps, the lot. So I can see where it comes from. It comes from the nasty. The past is from the nasty. The nasty is now. The nasty is at the top. I'm going to explain why the nasty is at the top and how I think we could all sort it out if we all stood together and said, no, we need to share. And I've had enough of it. But yeah, what he did, and he grabbed me. He grabbed me and he took me out into the hallway. And I remember, he should have just killed me. Honestly. What he did that day was horrible. And he left him in the hallway. And I was crying. And I didn't know where to go, who to talk to. And I felt so alone. I felt unwanted. And that day, I gave myself a name. An unwanted little shit. No, not shit. An unwanted little bastard. That's what I was. I was nothing. And when they say that word, because these people have been hurt by the colour of the skin, Black Lives Matter, I can assure you guys, I feel your pain, because that moment, my life did not matter. I wanted that angel to come and get me so bad. I wanted to come back. I didn't want to stay there. So I had to live my life. But I woke up more. I've become more of an adult. But he put that nasty into me, guys. I explain later, I've never been that bad. But there's a nasty that comes up now and again. It's like another person in your head. I've never been that bad. I kick off and I tell people off. But I've always kept quite reserved. I don't like hitting people at all. I don't like the violence. I don't like seeing boxing. I don't like the fights. I hate it and I avoided it. And I'll tell you the journey about when I got bullied, and you understand, I just took it all. I did kiss some back sometimes, and I lost my temper, and I've got stupid. But I'm not going to lie to you at all. I'm not going to tell you that I'm someone that's perfect, because I'm not. I'm a broken man with a broken mind, and I've got a broken heart. Because people didn't look after me. And I remember, and I thought I'd be okay. The teacher from next door got me, she just cuddled me. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried. But the problem was, because I was crying at the situation, all the kids was pointing at me. Because that guy, he'd infected that classroom with the disease. He infected that class with the nasty. And that's all I can describe it as. I've got no other word for it. Yeah? Out of anybody in this world, if I had to make a deal with the devil and said, can I just go a couple of rounds with that man? I would sacrifice, if there was a heaven, not to go there, just so I could speak to that man. And I'm sure you'll all agree as well. He threw me out of there like I was nothing. I was nothing. And I remember, I thought I would have got saved, you know. I had social workers. I've just come out and care. My mum's saying she loves me again. And she's being good and she's being nice. Yeah, I'm not getting beat up at her. Everything felt right. We was playing in the garden. I had a birthday party. Everything. Everything seemed fine. But no. I remember being in the office, the headmaster's office. Mr. Shepherd, his name was. And he looked like a good man. He looked like my granddad. And I really liked him because he looked like my granddad. My granddad was a good man. I loved him. And he was my granddad, you know. He was my proper granddad. He was just a person that loved me. A person that showed me love. And I needed that. And he's part of how I've survived through the years. But yeah, back to the story. I'll talk about with granddad later. He's a good guy. And yeah, so we're in the office. And he's there with this smug grin on his face, you know. Big one. Just nasty grin. And he's got his arms crossed. As if he don't give a shit. He's King Kong, isn't he? He didn't give a shit about me. His face was just nasty. My mum's there. The headmaster's there. But the social worker wasn't there. Big lady. Yeah, like wearing the dresses and stuff. But she always looked quite fancy and whatnot. Yeah. And like I say, the lady in the children's room told me, if you ever get into trouble or like that, you just have to tell us. She told me that before I left. I was wearing like a blue Adidas top. I've never worn anything so smart in my life. Just a little top. I'm sure it was second hand from a charity shop or God knows what. But it was nice. I looked good. I felt good. You know what I mean? I felt safe. There's only one guy there in there that hit me. You know what I mean? But he got dealt with. He got dealt with. When I told them that he hurt me and he hit me, they dealt with it like that. They didn't hesitate. They went, "Oh, you, what the fuck are you doing?" And I showed him the door. And he made sure he answered to it for what he did. And I'm sure they took him to the police and everything, you know. And he was a social worker and they dealt with it and it was safe, it was great, it was wicked. But they sent me home to my mum. Said you want to try and get it to work again as a family, but we all safe there, you know. You shouldn't send us back at all. And the kids get sent back all the time. They're doing it now. They're doing it where They go back to the nasty. They send them to the nasty. They're giving them the nice. You're being teasing. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because you're showing something that could be, but then you have to go back to the nasty. But then you always want to be where it was safe, and you can't be because you're being hurt and beat up, no matter who it's from. You can be from your mum, your dad, your auntie. They're all doing it. They're all hurting kids. Mum don't want to know. She's just left it up to her auntie, but auntie's not very nice. So auntie gets shut out of the kids because she don't want to look after them. But she doesn't mind taking that benefit fucking money so she can get a fags and sit on her ass. Sorry. But the worst bit, Mr. fucking Shaw, and he's sitting there in that chair. He's got that smug look on his face. I swear, even as a kid, the nasty thoughts that were going in my head, and that's where the nasty was infecting me, you know. Because every time I looked at him, I just wanted to kill him. I had visions of biting his nose off or something, because I was a small kid, so I thought I'd bite his fucking nose off. And they spoke about what happened. I told him what happened. I told him what he did. I told him how he did it. Everything. I told him a social worker. I'm sure they did documents on it and everything. They must have had to written about it because they had to document everything. Because I remember my social worker actually making a fuss of it. As if they just wanted to brush it under the carpet, you know. Because, Mr. Shepherd, mate, you should have done something. You should have done something. I told you what was going off. I thought you was a good one, mate. You look like a good one. And it gave me something. It gave me that nasty. It gave me that nasty that I could have done without as a child. And a lot of people have got it. All these gangsters and people that's robbing everybody, that banners causing the war, they've got that nasty. Yeah, and it could be from someone that treated them badly in school. So when I go back to the nasty, this is the bit where I want you to think about. Okay, that feeling I want to give you of how bad it was and how worse it got. But yeah, this was the bit that hurt more than anything else. Everything else, I couldn't give a shit about. I've made peace with you all. All of it that's hurt me. Yeah, I don't mind. It doesn't matter. I learn how to get by. I learn how to avoid it. But I shouldn't have to avoid it. But yeah. He shook my hand. And he said, I'm sorry. Not, I'm sorry, Dan. Yeah, I know what a sorry is. I've done it many times myself. Yeah, when I've done something wrong, and you've had to admit, you know, those who can't do that, sometimes it's not, you're not being a pussy because you've understood that what you did was stupid and wrong. Okay? You're not a pussy. You're just making sure that that person's okay. Right? And you didn't mean what you've just bloody said. But yeah, he gave me this such a pathetic sorry. It's like, no way, no how. I was gritting my teeth. I want to smash this man in more than I've ever wanted to hit anybody in my life. And he shook my hand and he said, I'm sorry. And then you got that little, when those nasty people want you to do something. You know it. We've all had it. Your boss, people at the top, people being bullied, man on the back of the bus. You know, talking to those people that's got a different colour skin. you know it. You've all heard it. And I know. What they wanted me to do. I didn't want to do it. And I did it again. And my mum gave me that evil look. What they give you, saying, you better do what you're told. I had to say sorry to this man that bent me over a table, smacked my arse so hard and just threw me around like I was a worthless piece of shit. Because he was bigger than me. He was maybe richer than me. Yeah? Or he was harder than me. That nasty that was in this world was in that man. And it shouldn't have happened. And nothing was done about what was done. Nobody came to my rescue. Nobody came and held me. Yeah? The evidence was all there. It should have been like they did in the care home. Grab that guy, smash fuck out of him and says, what you did was wrong. But he ended up working there for 10 years after that. I got married and things like that when I was older. And I remember going a lot later. It was about a good 10 years after you were there. And I must have burnt a dagger into his skull because his face was just like, oh fuck. And I swear to you now, mate, you were so lucky that there was all those children in those hallways like I used to be. Because I swear, I think I would have done time for that. I'd be lucky if I'd be out now. Oh, Mr. Shaw, I forgot a bit. Fuck me. I'm sorry to go back to this, guys. Yeah, I forgot it. I told you I'd keep drifting. I will. One of the worst moments after what happened to me, yeah, what broke my heart just as much, and put the other nasty into my body. Mr. Shaw, right, was in assembly, and I don't know if any kids was there at that time. And there's this young lad, I could tell you his name, but I'm not. But we called him Little Something. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. He did the bit and he just drifted off and he started bloody talking and stuff to the kid next to you. It was just him on his own. All the school was there, guys. All of the school was there. And nobody else was there. Okay? And this kid was little. He don't just come out of nursery. Proper little, you know what I mean? They're the ones that sprout up later in their life, you know what I mean? And he was proper little. And he was just talking and he grabbed him. He grabbed him by the scruff of his collar, picked him up as high as he could, and he screamed at him like he screamed at me. Now, I know full well those two lads was in care just like us, so they was in the care system as well. And he screamed at him and he threw him on the floor. But then he started weeping. You know that weep that the kids have got when they're so upset? And he picked him up again. And I can tell you where it was, where he stood, how he'd do it. I could draw it. I can picture it like you won't believe, guys. And we had a big, massive hallway with a stage and everything at the end. We had all your equipment in there. It was great, that. You know what I mean? And I don't know what we were singing. I can't remember. Whole world in his hands or something like that. We're singing songs about God and being good and everything else like that. And you got this fucking bully, yeah, doing this to this little kid. Right? And he picked him up and he shook him. And he went, shut up! And he said those things, I can do what I want, your parents don't care about you. Really, really, really nasty. And the kids are like, he's got that shock in his eye like I had. Nobody took me out on the fucking hallway. And he's like, shit. And he threw him. I swear, guys, if you don't believe any of my story, that bit about Shuri, please, I can assure you now, if you just look in my eyes, you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. And he threw that kid. And he's like, he wasn't a tall guy, he's about 5 foot, but you think he's like up on his shoulders. And he picked him up by his hands, so he hurt him on purpose. He had that fucking look in his eye. And nobody was there to see it, you know. Just all his kids, but there was loads of kids there. Anybody, remember that. We was all in there. There must have been at least 50 kids. There was the whole school in there. Infants, juniors, the lot. And he was on his own. Everyone's having a cup of tea and a cigarette. Yeah? And when he was on his own, he was the worst. He was the nastiest. He was. And he threw him. And he hit the back of the stage, but he made sure he hit the soft bit. He bounced a little bit. And he hit his head and everything. And this poor little kid. That's what I mean. It's not just me. And he wept. When he's going home, he's getting beat by his family. And he got bullied. His brother got bullied. They got teased. They got called names. Yeah, by all of them. By all of them that thought it was okay because he did that again. And it's like, how many times did he do it? I got out of there. Yeah, I know I don't like the fact my mum's kept moving and stuff like that. Make me look after bloody the kids and stuff. You know what I mean? But that was the horriblest moment. And he did it again. But after that, I remember moving not so long after that. Yeah, so I got out of the school. It didn't get any better. The teachers got better. And I'm not saying all the teachers in that school were nasty. No way, no how. Saying the one that saved me, the one that gave me a cuddle, the one, I thank her. But it wasn't the right cuddle. But I wanted the one for my, I'm going to call her my guardian angel, okay? I hope you don't mind. But that poor lad, and you know something? This is where my wish comes in. Just one of my wishes. One of my wishes. And I wish, even now as a grown man, and I know I've got kids, yeah, and I'll tell you some of my guardian angels will tell me later. I'd even give up that. If I could give them all a hug and every single one in the world, all those kids that are hurting and being hurt by you, you know who you are. Yeah, you know you're getting angry. You know you're hurting your kids. Yeah, you think you're out of control. Stop it. If you love them, leave them alone. If you can't stop hurting them, yeah, take yourself away from the situation. Do your kid a favour and fuck off. Yeah, You can talk to mum. Mum can talk to dad. Don't get angry with each other and try and boss each other around. Agree that it's not working. Yeah, mum and dad can take a break. If you take it in turns and just discuss it, you might actually save your kid's life. And not have him grow up thinking like he's a worthy piece of shit because you can't sort your head out. Yeah? If you're sitting there now wanting to take the red pill, listen to this. Don't go yet. Don't go yet. I've been there, mate. I've been there many a times. I've been saved. Listen. I'll tell you